Hi guys, it's me, Megan, your favourite podcaster. Today I'm going to be introducing to you a book called The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. If you want to know how much I rate this book, then you have to listen till the end. So at first, there was actually no such thing as Roz on this island. It was when a cargo ship with about 500 robots on board and 5 crashed into the shores of an island. 4 got smashed and they were all damaged, but Roz survived. And then Roz learned to be a mother to Brightbill when an accident happened, when she accidentally rolled down a cliff, and his parents died, but she found his eggs, so, yep. And then Roz started having more connections with the other robots on the island, and she learned the language and all that. At the end, the Ricos come, but then the animals fought them off for Roz, because the Ricos were trying to get Roz to go back to the factory with them, so that she could do some proper work in, human land, because this is a wild island with animals, and she's not supposed to be working for animals. She's supposed to be working for humans. But then Roz said that she didn't want the animals to fight them off for her because, they'll get hurt and all that. So she went into the spaceship. Oh, and she also said because she needed to do her repairs, because after the fight with the Ricos, she was damaged, her arms and legs were cut off, and yeah. Then Roz climbed into the spaceship where the Ricos came from, and she returned to her makers so that she could get all her arms and legs back. But she promised to the animals that she would come back when she needed to, because she knows that this is my home and I don't actually belong there where the makers need me to be. The characters in this story is Roz. She is a robot that survived in her cargo ship sink and adopted a son and adapted to her island. Brightbill, who is Roz's son, whose parents died in an accident caused by Roz. And finally, Fink, who had very close connections to Roz in the movie, and he is a fox. The settings of the story is on an island where Roz makes friends with the animals and learns the language, or else she wouldn't be able to communicate with them and all that. I like it because it's so touching how Roz adopted Brightbill and she helped the animals to gain their trust. I also love the adjectives, how the animals helped Roz fight off the Ricos. They swooped under their eyes and the deers kicked at them, that sort of thing. It's so, could imagine it so clearly inside your mind because they describe it really well. So I would like to do a little comparison between the movie and the book. In the movie, Brightbill always calls Roz Roz. She doesn't, it's not anything touching, but in the book, Brightbill calls Roz Mum because he thinks he is, but she isn't. But it's more touching, more connections between both of them, because it's weird when you call someone who is your mum Roz because her actual name is Roz. And it's usually more touching. Oh, okay, Mummy, I'm just going for a swim, that sort of thing. It's so cute. And in the movie, Fink is Roz's closest friend and actually lives with her in her lodge. But in the book, Fink is only seen about once or twice when Roz helps him pluck out hedgehog quills and all that because he was trying to find food because he was very, very hungry. But then he was about to sneak onto a hedgehog. The hedgehog turned around and then he got a full blow of her quills and not meat. That's very fortunate. There was this one time when Roz helped mostly all the animals on the island to go into her lodge so that for winter so that they could warm off. And Fink was one of them, so once or twice. But it's not as close, Fink lives with her in the movie. That's so weird because the main characters are Brightbill and Roz. That's it. I prefer the book more because, as I said, it's more touching than the movie because it has more connections with the animals. Because at first, in the book, there's a mother bear, a sister bear, and a brother bear. Their names are Nettle and Thorn. They didn't really like Roz because they thought she was a monster. Well, everyone in the book thought she was a monster. But then afterwards, Thorn accidentally skidded to a cliff. We thought that she dropped down to certain death, but she was hanging by her jaw on a branch, and Roz helped her up with the help of Mother Bear and Nettle. Afterwards, they thanked her for helping the mother bear to save her daughter, and then they were friends and all that, and they helped destroy the Ricos as well. That's more like connection, people. And in the movie, it doesn't explain how Roz got onto the island because in the book it's the cargo ship sinked and all that. We knew all of those. But then in the movie, if you actually just watch the movie by itself and you don't read the book, then you won't know, Roz just randomly came onto an island and then otters found her and then she turned them off and then our adventure starts. It's not like that. She wasn't built on the island, that's for sure. But then there's a missing chunk of the whole thing missed out because if we don't know how she even got onto the island, then it doesn't make sense of why the animals think she's a monster and at first she doesn't understand their language and all that. I love the book better than the movie because it looks like the movie seems to have more connections between Roz and Fink than Roz and Brightbill, because Brightbill was mad at Roz because he found out that she was the one who killed his parents and killed his chance to have a normal life, and then he left. And then Roz and Fink were just living together best friends and all that. And it feels like the main characters aren't actually main characters because they don't even play a part in the story together. I learned a few messages from the story. One of them is, even if you look different, it doesn't stop you from belonging to your community. Because Roz is a robot and she's not an animal. But the animals got used to Roz because she's really kind and she helped them with lots of their problems. And another one is, even if people treat you in a nasty way, it doesn't mean you can stop being kind to them. Because when Roz was being called a monster by everyone, technically everyone on the island, when the word spread out that there was this robot coming, prowling along the whole island, then people started to be afraid and they started calling her a monster. But then she helps them with lots of their problems, as I said before, helping them build lodges when it was a winter, or keeping them warm so that they don't freeze, or just helping the animals if they have any problems, like Fink when he had a face of quills, then Roz helped pull them out. Then afterwards she gained their trust and then everyone was like, oh, she's so kind, she helped me with blah 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 blah. And then everyone was so happy and they didn't call her a monster anymore. I'll give this book a rating of 10 out of 10. 5 because it's so touching. I watched the movie at school once and then at home twice because it was so good and I almost cried. And Yeah, it was so good, but I'm so glad that I didn't cry at school because I'll get bullied. And another 5 because it's so amazing how Roz learned to be wild. At the end, it was so good because in the movie, the Ricos were like, you don't belong here. You should go back to where you come from, and this is a wild island. And then Roz told them, I am a wild robot because, like, wild island and wild robot suits. So, yeah, and after they fought them off, it was, like, so cool how the animals gained Roz's trust just because she had done a good deed to them, like being kind, and even if they were being nasty to her, she didn't mind, and she just did really good deeds like being kind and all that to them. Thanks for listening to my podcast today. Stay tuned, and I hope to see you in my other podcasts. Bye!